welcome to FOPY'sCreations. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm not actually making anything today, but I just want to have a bit of a chat with you and show you what's possibly coming up. First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers and my new subscribers, and to ask all of you if you can keep sharing and subscribe if you haven't done already. And one of the important things also is to make sure you click on that like underneath, because it's important in the algorithms. It helps get me out there, helps YouTube share my video, because then they think, well, people do want to actually watch this lady. So I'm reliant on all of that. I knew it would take time, but I'm an impatient person, but we'll get there in the end. And I'm just so grateful for all of you that I've already got. And as I say, I've got some loyal regular viewers that I know. I see their names all the time and I talk to them all the time. And at the moment, while the numbers aren't huge, I'm able to have a chat with you, and I love to do that. It's not, I've got friends from all over the world, if you like. If you can carry on sharing, please, with your friends, and I'm pretty sure my regular viewers are doing this, and I know I've had new subscribers from that. I'm not doing the same as a lot of other people that make things on YouTube. It's just me basically doing my thing, showing you how I make things, and I always hope that, and I do know that some have learnt from some of the things I've done, and more importantly, I've given some a bit of a spur on to start creating again. They might have lost their mojo, or sojo as it's sometimes called. So, and I love to see that. And one thing we've recently, if you're not a regular viewer, recently I shared lots of my viewers' makes, and it wasn't just sewing, it was all different sort of things. Went down to knitting, crocheting, painting, everything. And we have some fantastic things to show, and I really want to do that again. So if any of you have got some sewing, painting, or anything you've created that you're really proud of, please send me pictures, and I'm going to do another sort of exhibition when I get enough together again. Sorry if I'm in a lot, but I just sort of think in between. Yeah. So so it's I'd say I do also, this is more for the benefit of new people, but I do love to paint and draw as well. But because I've got so much going on and there's not enough hours in the day, I can't do everything that I want to do. And obviously now, because I'm filming what I do and having the other channel as well, it's just taking me a little bit longer to get things done. But I really, really enjoy filming for YouTube, talking to all of you. It's good fun, and I love to get comments back and have a chat with you. So please know that I do really appreciate that. So if you're interested in our life here in France, then please subscribe to FOPY's France. And if you're interested in crafting as well and creating things, then please subscribe to FOPY's Creations, which is where we are now. What I'm going to do today, I've started to go through my projects that I've got piled up, basically, and I've started to pin sort of little labels to my project to remind myself exactly what I'm making and what I need to go with that project, so that when I take it out of the basket, I'm sort of already on my way, as it were. So I just thought I'd talk you through some of them. If you see anything on the film that you think, oh, I'd love to see Jan make that, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I've got so much to get on with. Some of it's fairly quick, some of it could take a while, in which case, as you know, then I'll be putting time lapse in. And as you know, especially if you're a regular viewer, you know that, as you could already tell, I like to chat. So sometimes it's difficult to go on time lapse, because then you end up listening to a chipmunk. but otherwise, yeah, that's how I try to do it. And then you get to see quickly what I've made at the end of it. So I hope you enjoy this one. I hope it might even just this might inspire you to think, oh, I haven't done that project or something like that. But whatever your feelings are about the video, talk in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, so let's get on with it. Okay, let's begin. Right, I'm going to go through the basket that I've already begun to sort. It's amazing how many things in here I forgot I'd even got to even start. I'm sure you've been there. Right, first of all, I found I had some balls of wool in there. Now, I've recently seen on one of these sewing hacks, and yes, I know I haven't got around to doing this sewing hack yet. I don't know why I put myself in that position really, because getting round to it is a problem. But on the sewing hacks, someone was sewing with wool, I think it was. Without watching it again, I can't exactly remember. But also, what they did was zigzagged over a strand of wool, or maybe a couple of strands of wool, to decorate a piece of fabric, which, I mean, it's just something different, isn't it? And I mean, I've got so many scraps of wool that I thought, well, I'm going to have a go at that, because I said, I've got something that's fairly plain and I want to jazz it up a bit. I mean, I could have 3 different colours of wool together and zigzag over them in stripes on something, and I'm quite looking forward to giving that a go. So that's my note: use to zigzag and decorate. So that's one. The next one is a pair of denim shorts that I got at the charity shop, as you can see. Obviously nowhere near my size. I just about get my leg in there, I think. So this, I've decided, I know it's boring, but I love doing them. It's another bag, and this one I've chosen some sheet or duvet cover or something, whatever this is that I've got, to be the lining for that. But I will stabilise the fabric once I've cut it to the size I want, so that the lining is substantial. And obviously then I've got to decide on what handles to make. So that's one project. This one is, I don't know if you remember seeing in one of the videos, I'd made a couple of corduroy bags for my granddaughter and my niece. And this one I've decided this is what's left of the same trousers. I'm going to make into a small bag, maybe for a phone, or into a small purse. And again, like I did on the bag, I'm going to turn the corduroy into a fringe as well. So I think that'd be quite a nice fun little project. Hopefully it wouldn't take too long. And again, I'd have to find a handle. This one, this is a skirt that I made for myself, and I actually added it was a jeans top. I added elastic on the side to make so that it fit a bit better on the waist, and then I chopped the legs off, got as far, and I serged them, and then I added the fabric on. And when I put it on, stupidly, I should have tried first, but between me deciding on making these, and yeah, between having the jeans and saying, right, I'm going to make that with it, and making it, I'd put on weight so that it didn't fit. So I've got question marks on this one now. I don't know whether to try and make, as I'm losing weight, try and make another skirt, maybe not as long, maybe sort of to the knee or something. So decisions still to be made on that one. This one is a man's shirt, as you can see. I do like a candy stripe. It just seems to, you get away with it, being even though it's a man's shirt. Candy stripe you can get away with on a lady. Of course I'm a lady. And I'm going to make a top or a blouse, and I've taken lots of screenshots off of maybe Pinterest, Facebook, and I'm going to use that to try and do some of that. I mean, I'm not desperate for tops or anything, but it's just something I want to have a go at. and if it turns out okay, I'll be taking it on holiday. Same with a few of these projects. Now this one, I have to put it in a bag because it's so small. There's lots of little bits and pieces to it. But this I bought again at a charity, and it was a pair of tiny jeans. They're inside out at the minute because I've cut them and started to pin them. But I'm going to make this into a little girl's bag, and I found an ideal lining, as you can see, really lovely, like Holly Hobby in pink, which to make the lining for that, and I've already got it set up to make the box bottom for inside, so I did start it and never got back to it. And then I've got all the other pieces of the trousers to make the handle with, so I think that'd be quite a sweet project as well. Now this is a t-shirt that I've had sitting there waiting to do something with, and if you saw my video where I showed you that I'll turn camisoles and t-shirts into tops, like by adding scarves or fabric to them, that's my plan for this one. Now I've got a short sleeve black t-shirt, and I've got some sort of heavyweight fabric which I've already made one top out of, but it hangs beautifully, doesn't need ironing, and I think I'm going to try and attach that to that. You can see there, you'd imagine, squint your eyes and imagine that at the top there, and that this will hang just quite nicely. I've just got to decide on how long I want the bottom part. But I'm looking forward to that one. That's, as I say, it's a lovely fabric, and I've been wanting to do something with the rest of it. I think that I might have actually bought that years ago, before I started the recycling, and it's just sat here. But I really like it. Some of these I'm having to roll together and put an elastic band round. So that's that t-shirt top with a sort of skirted bottom. That's the way I will remember what I'm doing with that. This one, we've got some more denim. Now this one is going to be a child's bag, but slightly bigger. Little child's denim. I think these were trousers as well. And I know my granddaughters would love a little bag made from these. And as I've shown you, I've got denim bags myself, and they're washable. They just last ages. So yeah, so there's the legs that I've got to make the handles out of that, and I found this gorgeous piece of fabric that someone gave me, sort of in green with chickens on. So that's as I've got here, will be a child's small bag. I've got to sew some pockets in and make a handle and put the lining in. So that's yet another project. I'm going to have to take my cardigan off. It's getting quite warm in here. In 2 minutes I'll be cold again and putting it back on. I'm sure some of you women will understand that. This is something again that sat in my basket for months. I saw the idea on Pinterest or any of the usual places I look, and I wanted to make, I think it originated from America. I think a few of you ladies in America have maybe got them, but it was basically, I managed to find some reasonably priced hand towels that I could use in the kitchen, because you tend to end up using a tea towel, don't you? But then you had a handle to the top of it, and then a press studded bit, you'd sort of attach it to the handle on your stove or something. So again, I've got that fabric, the green with the chickens, and I thought that goes really nicely with that. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that. I've had that idea in my mind for a long time, as I say. I'm not quite sure yet whether I'll make it fixed to the oven handle with a button or Velcro. I can't decide on that yet. Now I've got another man's shirt that I want to make into a top or a blouse. In fact, I'll quickly show you. I made a little sketch. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it shows the shirt top, and then I've got to somehow either get a different fabric for the bottom, or I'm not quite sure how it's going to work yet, but I think I'm going to need to use some of the shirt and some other fabric, which I've not really done yet. So, but it's quite a nice, it's a nice colour shirt again. And what's my next one? It's like a lucky dip. This one is like a, what do you call? We call them a roll neck top, which I very rarely wear, because, especially at the moment where I tend to get quite hot. I'm going to cut a V in it to make it into a V neck, and then I want to do something with the bottom. I did think about cutting slits in it, or adding a piece of fabric on the side. I don't know if you remember at all whether when I helped Sharon make her t-shirts into a more of an A-line t-shirt, and we put panels in the side. That I'm thinking of maybe something with that. Yeah, it's an undecided one really. I dare say when it comes to it, I'll just suddenly have a brainwave and think that's what I'm going to do with it. But even on there, I've got maybe add to the bottom with a question mark, because I say I didn't quite know what to do with that. Now this is a camisole, a black camisole, which you've seen I have done a few times, and so, you know, fairly easy to do. I say there's no pattern needed or anything, which is what I like about it. And I'm recycling tops that I've had that I've just not worn very much. And this fabric, again, I bought this one a long time ago and it's been sitting here, so it's time that was used. But I thought that on the end of that as well, again, not sure how long it will be, but I would like to do it at least to mid-thigh, so it covers a multitude. I think that will be quite a quick make. It'll be a case of stitching across here. I might add some detail. I might put a flower here or something, and then it'll be a case of just hemming it. And this is another denim. Again, these weren't my shorts. I might have been able to wear them when I was about, I don't know, 20. But there's a pair of grey shorts. I definitely could have worn them. They're very short shorts. But that's, I've decided on a bag, and I've got this nice grey sheeting, which has got some embroidery in it that I thought would make quite a nice lining, or maybe even some detail on the pockets. So again, I've got to find a coordinating fabric to make the straps with, whether they be, or maybe a belt. You know, I like to use belts for handles. Getting near the bottom of this basket now. Now this, I've been hanging on to, I've made a top, what one was it? That black, the black fabric with the pinky flowers on it that I'm going to use. I made a complete top from using this as a pattern with that. And it's just an A-line, so it's just an A-line top, and so I love wearing it. It's just so easy to wear. It doesn't screw up or anything. But this, before I used it as a pattern, I wore it so much. It's got holes ripped under the arms and things, so I've worn it so much. So I was thinking of maybe trying to use the bit that's not frayed or anything, like the bottom, say the bottom half, and attaching that to another t-shirt. So I'll make another top, you know, with that. I haven't labelled that one actually, it's a good point, but I know what I'm doing with that one. So we'll put that back in the basket in a minute. I came across some scarves that I had. This is quite pretty. It's let me take the pin out. Just quite a nice scarf. I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's so much of it. I'm not totally sure, but I might be able to do a very lightweight top with that. And it's quite nice to just fling over the top of a camisole or a costume if I dare wear one. Something like that. I'm undecided with that one, but this is another one. This is another scarf, and this is a navy blue scarf that I'm not sure it's got the same yes, I've still got quite a lot of fabric there again. So I even thought about maybe combining the two fabrics as a sort of stripe, sort of pink and white, then a navy, pink and white, then navy, and adding that to camisole. Might be quite nice. Yet to be decided. Right, let's tackle the basket I've yet to go through yet. There, then you can see me. Okay, I've got another pair of... Oh no, this one's a denim skirt again. Not one I've worn. I was thinking about keeping this that size, because I thought with a good, maybe waterproof lining, it might make quite a good beach bag. Or similar. I'll label these later, just want to show you at the minute. Oh, this is just a pair of my jeans that need a new button. Everything gets thrown in these baskets. What have I got here? This is, oh, you might have seen this, I think, when I made the bag from a skirt before, the blue one, which I really love, and I ended up giving that as a present to someone. This is another skirt that I was going to do the same thing with, and it's just so lovely. It's red, and I think you can see up close that the pattern within that red. It's lovely. This is a piece of fabric that I put to one side that I could use as a lining. Oh, this is another skirt. Smaller one again, but it's similar principle. As I say, it can be such a quick make if you keep it exactly as it is, which with a skirt is fairly easy. So you just decide where you're going to put your handles. You've got pockets to use. You just literally sew across the bottom. I would definitely put a box bottom in because it just makes it look like it will sit better. This one, yeah, I think it still needs a lining because you've got your pocket linings on the inside. I think it's neater to give it a lining. And if I won't do it as long as it is because that would be a silly long bag. I'll cut a piece off the bottom, and then that will be what I will use possibly to make the handles. What's this one? I think this... Oh, it's another skirt. See, I mean, you forget what you've bought, but this will be very similar to the other one I made, and I think that's, again, I mean, I'd love to be able to say I'm going to wear this. Not going to get that small, I'm afraid, but again, it's quite a nice fabric, isn't it? So I quite like that. So I mean, I'm going to see, I might literally cut this one and have the stripes going downwards. We shall see. This one here, yeah, that one's got a little note. Needs a line in again because that's not as thick as the denims. Now this, another skirt. It was jeans, as you can see, because of the V here. But I think this was already cut in as a skirt when I bought it. That's another great idea. I really need to get these made and try and sell some because I'm going to be, as I say, swamped with projects that will just sit in here. Alright, now we've got, this is a pair of jeans I bought, actually, never been worn. I think this was at a boot fair, Vig Grenier, and they were too small. But now I'm thinking I should maybe hang on to them because all this weight I'm losing, I might actually get into them. So I'm going to put them to one side for a bit. I was so disappointed because the label said they were my size at the time. And I was really excited, new pair, black, and put them on and couldn't get them past my hips. It really, really makes me angry while the shops don't all bring out the same sizes. I mean, you see it time and time again where people show, they'll go and buy, say, a pair of jeans in 6 or 7 different shops, all the same size, and then when they lay them out, they start small and then they get bigger and bigger. So what is the right size? Obviously you go by your measurements, but because it's got a number on it, that is what we go by because that's what size we're supposed to be. But no, you've got to carry a tape measure around with you every time you buy something, haven't you? Because that's the only way you're going to know that you're buying the right size. But it's a mental thing as well, isn't it? Because if you say you're buying a size 18 and that is too small, the thoughts of having to go up, say, 4 number sizes, some of us just won't do it. It's like I'm not going to admit that I'm in a 24. It's just not, it's not fair. It really messes with your mind. I really think somewhere along the line, someone needs to tell the shops, basically, all do the same sizes. I'm on the other side of it. If it says it's a 14 and you're an 18 and you can get into it, that's fine, because you're going to say, oh, I might got into a 14. I don't know. Now, do you remember the baguette bag I made? There was a, it had, I said it was a table runner, and on the end was the lace bits, and around the edge was the bit that I used for the handles, which I've still got bits and pieces of it here. This was the bit that went around the outside, which I turned into the handles, and then I got a couple of panels there off of it, and this was the lace at the end. So to me, that's screaming to be used again as a fringe on something else. I'm undecided as what, but it could, I mean, I could put it as a fringe on one of these bags. We shall see what I decide on with that. But again, I won't throw it away, because it's just wastage and it can be used. I mean, buying lace like that is really expensive. And I think it's made, I think it's like a cotton as well. There's another pair of jeans that for some reason this is one of my early days of taking things in. I had really baggy trousers and I wanted to make them slim fit. And I'd done them to all the measurements, forgetting that, like, as with most of us, one half of our body is bigger than the other sometimes. And one leg was always that bit too tight and they weren't stretch. So in the end, they irritated me so much I gave up. So I've got to make a decision now on what to make. Whether I cut it up and just use the denim as it is, or I don't know yet, but that's why that's sitting in there. It's an undecided project. Oh, and this, what I did this for, I'll never know. I can't remember where this came from, a Victorian boot fair, but I've got 4 these, you know when you impulse buys, 4 of these zips. I'm not quite sure what they're for, but they're quite long. They must be 2 meters long, and they've got a double zip. And I really thought, well, if I could, because I have got one actually, but it's a zip bag, and it just goes round. You can undo the zip and go round and round and round and over the handle. I don't think I could do that with it, although it's worth a try. But otherwise I could cut strips off to make trim on something with it. I think that might be an idea. I've got to use it, because I mean, I bought them, and as I say, it was an impulse buy. I'm certainly not going to waste it, and I'm not going to throw it away, so best I think of something to do with it. Am I running out of things now? Let's see. Oh, and I've got similar, which I totally forgot I had, white zips. These again, they've got 2 sides to them, 2 zip things, so you can unzip inside or outside. Nice chunky zip. Now this, I could imagine this being cut into strips for trim, because it's white as well. I quite like the idea of that, whichever way I decide to do it. And I suppose you could use it as handles as well. That might be a bit rough on the back against your shoulder, so maybe it would need another fabric on the other side. But yeah, I can't even remember where I got those from. How bizarre. So put them back in the bag, and they might as well join them. What have I got here? Oh, it's pieces of denim that I've had left over from things. Oh, again, things are hidden away and I totally forget what they are. But this is a pattern. I got a pattern, I think it was the one I got from a sewing magazine. I've got everything cut out to make it. Oh, I've got the picture I can show you. There's that top. So everything was ready to go. Of course, now I'm starting to lose weight. I'm wondering if the size is going to be correct. But so maybe I need to wait with that one until I've got to a size that I'm happy with. And this is a really nice This was a sheet, but I loved it. I mean, look at that pattern. I mean, it's really nice and summery and so flowery, and I think that will make a nice top there. You can see it, what used to be instead of, I don't know if anywhere else does it, but in France they have sheets that are like that on the corner, so they sort of tuck in easier. A bit bizarre to me, but yeah, I bought it. It was in a sale, and I loved the fabric, so I bought it again, ages ago. So that will get used, I hope, for that top. And I thought about toning in. This was another sheet, some stripe with that, because they're being similar colours. So I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, it might be that I could make it in stripe and do a flowery cuff on the sleeve, or stripe the flower sleeve. Who knows? There we go, another one. Oh, now this was a bit of a failure. I bought this fabric at a boot fair and love it. I love the colour, and I got the pattern. It wasn't quite, because it's jersey. You have to make sure it's stretching the correct way for the pattern you have. And the jersey I had stretched both ways, as some of them do. And the collar is like a 60s sort of design. I don't know if you can see from there. And I love those tops where the collar stands up all the way around. And this was, when I put it on, so floppy. And it wasn't supposed to interface it or anything. I now wish I had. So it's sitting there now trying to decide what to do with that, and it's a shame, really. I'm not quite sure best thing to do with that. I think this is just bits and pieces now. Duncan threw a shirt out, and I saved the pockets to use in a bag, and there's a lovely bit of embroidery on it, Home Sweet Home, and I thought I must be able to incorporate that into a bag. And I kept the cuff, or sorry, the collar, I kept that so that I could use it if need be to cut handles out of. And he had a pair of shorts that he bought where they had these extra pockets. They were a bit bizarre. I wasn't going to throw them. These I thought would be quite good to attach or put inside a bag, with all these little pockets inside it, and they could hold your purse and pens or anything, just as they are. So it definitely was going to get used. And I have yet another men's shirt. I bought this when I think in a charity shop when I was in the UK. Again, nice. It's a gingham, stripes and ginghams I love, and especially in blue and white, they always look so lovely and fresh, don't they? So it's another top project, possibly. So I'm going to put them back in there for a minute. Oh, it's another t-shirt to that's another white t-shirt that needs something done to it. I did think about appliquing on the bottom or something, just to make it a bit more interesting. Still could be possible. So I've just got a piece of fabric I got out to maybe line one of those bags with, and this is an old top that's really stretched, and I've hung on to it trying to decide what to make out of it. I might end up just making a vesty top just to wear around the house with it, just because, or just for gardening in or something like that, rather than, I don't want to bin it, and it's not good enough for someone else now. It's got beyond that. So if there's anything there, you, as I say, that you think you might think, oh, I was thinking of making that, let's see how Jan does it, let me know, and I will do my best to show you. I'm now going to go through all of these and put labels on them and reminding myself what I've got to do with them, like I did with the other ones. And meanwhile, I hope that sort of give you some inspiration, or some I'm not even going there sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, I love to go through my stuff and finally sort it out, especially when it's been sat there for months and months and months. So I now feel inspired to get on with it and try and find the time to do it. But that'll be after I've edited this video, of course. I say I do enjoy doing the videos, but it's nice to hear back, and it would be lovely to get to a point where I've got enough subscribers that I can earn a little bit of pocket money from it. I'm earning a tiny amount from the other channel because, again, things are so slow, and I want to just get out there. And you feel, because it's a bit like working for nothing. Even, you know, I do enjoy it, but you feel like you want something back. I'm getting fantastic comments and that from people, which should be rewarding itself, but it would be nice, being as Duncan's the breadwinner and I don't contribute as much. All right, yes, I know a lot of you'll be shouting at me saying you do the housework and you do this. It's just the way I am. I like to know that I've got a little bit, although we share, our money is our money. I like to be able to contribute, and when I buy Duncan a present, I like to know it's come from money I've earned as well. Otherwise I feel like he's buying his own presents. I'm sure some of you understand that. Anyway, that's it for today. This will go out and you'll see this on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. While I'm on the subject, what time do you think is best for you to... I know you can save them and watch them anytime, but if I did a premiere or even a live, I need to find, being as there's people all around the world, I need to find a time that suits everybody. And I'm just curious what your likely time would be to watch. Otherwise, I would just put them out as I do, and if they don't get watched live, they don't get watched live. I mean, I know with the little exhibition I put out, in the end there was just me and Tina talking, because no one else had yet tuned in. So that was a shame, really, but it was lovely to speak to Tina. But yeah, it just shows you the timings aren't quite right, so I didn't quite know what to do. I was, it's not really a lot of point me doing a premiere if no one's there. So, as I've already said, that's that for now, and I will see you next time. Maybe, who knows, maybe making one of these projects. Okay, bye for now.